Nearly 400 firefighters continue to battle fires in the Tsitsikamma area of the Eastern Cape. They're assisted by 4 helicopters. Their job made all the more difficult due to strong winds. There are several small communities were evacuated, and the N2 was also closed for several hours due to heavy smoke, but has since been reopened. Iviwe Poti is in Tsitsikamma and joins us now. Good evening, Iviwe. Can you give us an update?
Good evening to you too and the viewers. Well, in terms of an update, we have seen some water tankers in those areas that we had indicated earlier had lost their water supply due to pipes that had been burnt throughout the night from the raging fires that burnt out and started out at about midnight last night. You'll remember that there were gale force winds at that time. However, throughout the day, we haven't actually had any gale force winds in the Tsitsikamma area. Yes, the winds did take up a fast pace at some stage round about 2 o'clock, but it's managed to settle down now a bit. So there are still those sporadic fires, specifically in the mountains. There are, though, the helicopters and choppers in the air that are trying to monitor the situation and also keep it under control, remembering that they're trying to make sure that those fires don't reach the plantations that are still in remainder, where we have a lot of pine trees which are very flammable. Even the Clarkson areas, a lot of people have actually gone back to their homes, and some, during the day had indicated that they would go and stay with relatives. But we're going to speak to the spokesperson of this municipality, who's going to tell us a bit more in terms of what the situation is looking like right now. We can see in the background that in some of the mountains the sporadic fires are still going, the choppers are still in the air. But what is the situation like at this stage, and are there any fears of the fires flaring up tonight like we had yesterday?
Good evening all. There is fear that in area like Pietersville here where we're standing, also in the other area in Mandela Park, you have seen it when we are passing through, we are a little bit concerned about. And also as you go down to Woodlands area, there's still fire, and we are concerned because there's communities around those areas. Specific also in Sugusuk, in Mandela Park, that community is surrounded by pines, and we are very concerned, but there are firemen that are controlling and looking after that. But when you go up to the side of Coldstream, we managed to contain the fire, and we are certain that there will be no outbreak. Although maybe wind can rise at this evening, there will be no any damages going towards the communities.
And then in terms of some of the challenges that you are facing, not only as a municipality, but as a team, a whole team, I mean, the Department of Health is involved, traffic officials, police officials, private companies, community members, etc. There are those community members in the areas where there is an indication of fear, whom are saying they won't move out of their homes. Their biggest fear is to leave their households.
One of the challenges that we're experiencing in our own townships is those people that are always there, what we call tech people that are smoking this tech and drugs, that always when people are moving out of their house, when we have rescued, they get into the houses and they take what they can take and sell it in our communities. And it put also pressure upon our police that are also part of our team, and they assist the communities. And that's why we try to manage it as possible, that people not leaving their homes because of that issue.
We understand that the municipality is also in close working and communication with Sandparks, where we are right now, trying to also save the historical forestry, which is very close if we look behind us now.
Yes, Tsitsikamma municipality and Sandparks and MTO in this area are in partnership. If any fire that is breaking, we are working together to make sure that we contain the fire, because Sandpark is responsible for indigenous trees and MTO is responsible for the pine trees, and we are responsible for those open spaces. And therefore it's very critical that all of us work together to contain the fire so that it cannot damage the fynbos and any other issues that are critical for tourism in this area, because one of the job creation in the area is tourism.
Mr. Mokana, thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
Well, there we have it. The situation seems to be under control right now. There are a bit fearful factors in terms of tonight, but within the whole partnership of the team that's working on the fires, it seems to be positive at this stage. But for now, it's back to you in studio.